Welcome to everybody. My name is Drew Leader, an MD, who's also a professor of philosophy. Now, I have a special interest in the way that people heal, even in the face of chronic illnesses or injuries, disabilities, the changes of aging. And these kinds of things can be very disruptive. If we have bodily breakdown, it also breaks down our relationship with friends, with the outer world, moving through space and time, even our relationship with our own bodies, and our sense of the universe, of God. All of this gets challenged. And unfortunately, there's not always a medical cure for every condition. So when I speak of healing, I'm really talking about the return of wholeness. Now that someone has been kind of disrupted and disintegrated by the experience of illness, injury, etc., how do we reintegrate? How do we find wholeness again? And this is the subject of my new book, which is called The Healing Body: Creative Responses to Illness, Aging, and Affliction. And in the book, I suggest that given the nature of our living body and our self-body relationship, there's a kind of chessboard of possibilities for healing, different spaces we can move to, each of which has certain benefits, but also a shadow side if it's used excessively or inappropriately. So to heal well is in some ways to become like an expert chess player who, even if the physical problem you're dealing with is constantly shifting, you're also shifting your strategy, trying to find something that will make sure you're not held in check by the problem, so to speak. So in each of these videos, I'm examining one space on that chessboard of healing. Today, we're talking about what I will call objectifying. When something problematic happens in our body, let's say I'm swimming and suddenly I feel a pain in my chest. One way to deal with it is to view it as an object of scrutiny, an object of concern, an object for interpretation. What is going on here? Is this a muscle cramp? Is this, God forbid, a cardiac event that I need to be really concerned about? Like, what's going on? Do I need to stretch? Do I need to just exercise through it? Do I need to call a cardiologist? So we're viewing our body as if it were an object, though we're having sensations from within, kind of the first-person sensations. We also are taking a kind of third-person perspective on it that may very well be fed by all the information we learned in biology class or from the internet about the nature of our inner body, the organs, the things that can go wrong with it, etc. And so when we objectify our body, in some ways it gives us benefits, but it can have drawbacks. I'll start with the benefits. First of all, it creates a little bit of distance, so we don't feel quite as overwhelmed by what's happening in our body. We're able to view our body as an object separate from our own subjectivity. Moreover, it may, in fact, give us a clue or give us an answer as to what is going on. And just to arrive at a diagnosis, whether self-diagnosis or through a physician or other healthcare practitioner, can itself provide a certain amount of relief. I know what's going on, and that kind of understanding gives me a sense of control. And in fact, it may open the door to some really helpful therapeutic treatments for what is going on. Certainly if it is muscle strain, you may need to rest it or stretch it. If it were a cardiac event, you may need to go on a medication or something else that would safeguard you in that area of deep vitality. So all of that is begun by the fact that we are capable of objectifying what's in our body and possibly bringing it into a kind of biomedical context. On the other hand, there's a downside to this kind of biomedicalizing of things. We can begin to feel more alien from our body as if it is a machine. We might neglect certain things we could do in terms of relaxation or meditation or lifestyle changes because we're preparing our body to be given over to the biomedical system. And we may also cause ourselves undue distress. If the swimmer starts worrying about this being a cardiac pain and Googling it and finding out all the dire diagnoses that might be at play, they could be causing themselves a lot of undue neurotic worry and projection that turns out to be not accurate and not necessary. So that's an example of being careful about the shadow side, the dark side of these healing strategies if we use them excessively or inappropriately. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. And week by week, I'll be posting, a short video on each of these healing strategies. And of course, this is but a quick glimpse. If you're interested in a treatment in greater depth, once again, I'll mention my new book, The Healing Body, Creative Responses to Illness, Aging, and Affliction, which is available at Amazon and all other booksellers. So thanks very much.